All right, guys, welcome back to Mealtime News, episode 11. I'm your host, Henry. Let's get into it. So the music festival Burning Man has just been a disaster this year. Burning Man takes place in northern Nevada in the Black Rock Desert, and as you may expect, people didn't think it was gonna rain. It's a desert. But now that it did rain, this typically very dusty place is now insanely muddy. So cars are getting stuck, people can't leave, emergency service vehicles can't get in, and one of the worst parts is that the porta potties are overflowing because the trucks that come in and clean the porta potties can't get in or get out because it's too muddy. The 70,000 attendees were told to stay put, conserve their food and water, and just wait until the situation changes. One person has also died at this festival, and the police are saying that they're investigating what the potential causes could have been. Why is online porn so easy for kids to access? So there are a flurry of new laws around the country that require these porn sites to have an age verification system for access to their site, whether that be requiring people to upload an ID in order to have access to it, or some other way of verifying their age. But a judge in Texas just blocked this law, saying that it was unconstitutional. This judge's decision deferred to a precedent from a 1997 Supreme Court case called Reno versus ACLU. So that Supreme Court case was in response to the Communications Decency Act, which was in 1996, which also similarly made it a lot harder for porn sites to exist without some age verification requirement. But many people are saying that now that technology has improved substantially, that we now have ways to age verify people that are more effective than they might have been at the time of the Supreme Court decision. So now many expect that a case testing that precedent will come before the new, more conservative Supreme Court, and that they'll allow for the expansion of obscenity laws. Should the US continue to fund the Ukraine war? Let's look at arguments from both sides. So those who argue in favor of funding the war in Ukraine say that 1, Ukraine is a buffer state that exists between Russia and the rest of the NATO countries. And if Ukraine falls to Russia, then Russia may feel emboldened to invade other NATO countries, whom we have a treaty-bound obligation to support if Russia were to invade. Second, they say the war diminishes Russia's military without any US troops dying, which is good for the US's national interests. Third, they say that Ukraine is a democracy and it's been invaded by a dictator, and that we have a moral obligation to help the Ukrainians. And fourth, they say that it may help deter China from invading Taiwan because it shows that the US is willing to support its allies when a greater power invades them. So those who criticize funding the war say that too many people are dying and that we should be trying to end the war as quickly as possible. They also say that that funding is being used corruptly by the Ukrainian government, and that that money would be better spent domestically on concerns that affect Americans. Finally, critics say that we're pushing Russia into China's arms, which threatens the US more than either Russia or China independently. Alright, thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 11 of Mealtime News. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Follow to get more daily news with arguments from both sides.